So originally, UNLV didn't have a week zero game. They usually don't. They
Oh
usually don't
yeah.
have a week zero game, but they do this year because of Canelo Alvarez. The Saudi Arabia money came in, baby. They
Wow.
it came in, and they're like, "All right, we got to move this game." So I guess they had a game on September 13th against Idaho State, and
Okay.
then when the Canelo Terrence Crawford fight got made, they also wanted to make it Canelo because Canelo fights twice a year, right? He fights on the Mexican holidays. He fights
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah. The
Mexican. He
Mexican
fights on Cinco
independence.
de Mayo and Mexican Independence Day.
Yeah.
And Mexican Independence Day is the week
Is
of. It's usually
is that the
around like the
13th?
second week of. Yeah, like around the second week of September.
Yeah.
So and usually boxing fights and UFC fights are usually on a Saturday. So when they were making the fight, they had to work with UNLV to
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 move the
move one of
game.
their games to an earlier date.
That's
As
crazy.
yeah, I mean
And
to do
really,
that.
there's no wiggle room. So
No,
they're lucky that CFB has a week zero,
yeah,
or
because if there
else
wasn't a week zero, they'll
they
just take the
would.
game away. Yeah.
Wow, that's funny.
So the Riyadh money came in, and that Saudi money, dog. That doesn't play. They don't play around.
They
Um, but
they
yeah, I
say, we you want $1 billion? We'll give you $10 billion, $100 billion. Move this
because
game.
the week before that game is when UCLA comes to UNLV, which I didn't even know. Like I didn't even look at their schedule until today or like yesterday. But
Yeah.
UCLA is coming to UNLV this year, so
Oh,
that's gonna be
cool.
a big
That
game.
should be a
Yeah,
big game.
yeah. So like everybody's gonna want to go to that game and all that, and it'd be hard to move a game like that. So you just you book it for. So I mean I don't know if the promoters of the Canelo Crawford fight worked with the UNLV. They must have had in some capacity, right? Otherwise, the game would have been moved. But
Well, I mean, if you got, it's like the situation with WWE, where when news broke out that WrestleMania this year was going to be in New Orleans, but then they
switched it
switched
back to
it
Vegas.
switched it back to Vegas. They had an issue with scheduling at
Oh,
Allegiant
that's
Stadium
right.
because
I
they had
forgot about that.
somebody. So I don't know who it was. Well, I know it was a concert, I believe, but
Yeah,
they were able to make it work out, and obviously money was dealt for that deal. And so it seems like the same situation. Did you hear? I just saw something that UNLV, they're putting bleachers on the field, um, on the, I think it's the one of the end zone sides, but it's for students. It's only for students though. But
okay. I'm not
it's
sure about
it's,
that.
it's kind of cool. I just saw it today actually, which is kind of
Okay.
cool. So Vegas, at the Vegas Raiders, you have the
Oh,
table,
like the Winfield
the
Club and all
the
that.
Winfield Club. So that's
Yeah.
kind of cool that they're doing that. So need to sneak in as a student, so we can get on the field, man.
I've been on that field. I used to work for the Raiders. I've been on that field, and I can see why players like
It's
playing on
real
that field.
grass, right?
It's real
Real
grass, yeah.
grass, yeah.
It's real turf. They keep it. The way they do it, it's really cool. Like I'm pretty sure there's like a video online or like there's something online that like tells you what they do. But
Yeah, because it goes out and then goes in, and
yeah, they like keep it. They keep it underground somewhere, and they like transport it from
that's
like one
cool.
area to another. And it's really cool. It's really cool how they do it. Like when the Raiders aren't in season and they still need to put something on there, they won't use the real turf that the Raiders use. They'll use like artificial turf or something like that. But yeah, I mean the field itself is really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, being on the field is really cool to be on. But yeah, it's crazy how big like boxing act and kind of just like well I'll mention something here after It's kind of cool how how boxing money can actually affect other sports. Because really, if you book the right matches, boxing could be the biggest sport in in this country. But
Yeah.
there's just not enough big time fighters anymore to do that. Like ever since Floyd Mayweather retired, basically, like no
That
one
or
wanted
Manny
to.
Pacquiao. I mean, look what just recently they had to get Manny Pacquiao to fight this no-namer guy, because he
And
wouldn't
he
draw a
drew him.
crowd.
He drew the champion
Yeah.
because the champion couldn't do shit.
So let's talk about boxing because you sent me a tweet or an X or whatever
Yeah,
how
whatever
you
it's
call it
called
now.
now.
You sent me something and I'm like, yeah,
I
I
didn't believe it
agree.
at first, actually.
Boxing is dead.
Boxing's a
So
joke. I try to defend the sport as much as I can,
yeah,
but
you
it's
you are a big boxing juggernaut or uh in unfortunately it's just not how it was, but basically this is from Ring Magazine. Breaking news, Jake Paul will face Gervonta the Tank Davis on November 15th
that's so stupid.
in Atlanta. Oh, it's an exhibition
It's an exhibition. It's an exhibition match. It's because
on Netflix. So,
when you hear
uh
on Netflix and boxing, it's a safe
it's
to bet.
just
It's
it's
WWE.
this. It's
Yeah, I
this.
know, and it's money too. But
So,
it it's a
what
it's
are
a
your thoughts and why is boxing deteriorating? Why is it the way it is? And is there a way to come out of it?
okay. Well, this is gonna be a long. It's gonna be
Give
long. So
me like two
obviously,
reasons.
like I said, like Ryan said, I'm a boxing. I don't want to say I'm a boxing fanatic. I'm a boxing fan. I love the sport. I love watching the sport. One, because Manny brought the Filipino pride back into the Filipinos and put the Philippines really put the Philippines really on the map, right? Like if it wasn't on the map
Yeah.
before, like Manny brought Filipinos together.
He made it cool to be Filipino.
Dude, he did. Like when I was in middle school, dude, I wore like Filipino gear. I like my necklace. I had the Philippine shirt.
Maybe
I
like,
had
oh, Filipino? Oh, Manny Pacquiao!
yeah, but like, that's obviously why I started watching boxing because we got to support our countrymen. But yeah, I mean, other than Pacquiao, right? I mean, like I said earlier, Floyd Mayweather was the other big name at that time,
Yeah.
and for years and years they were trying to make that fight, and when they finally made the fight, it was just too late,
Well,
and
yeah, too late, not in their primes, or at least Manny wasn't really in his prime anymore.
yeah, like he wasn't the same Manny, and
But I
then he
feel
had
like that was on purpose.
oh,
So
it was definitely on purpose. Everybody's
right.
gonna say like a lot of me. There's gonna be a lot of people that say, "Oh, it wasn't on purpose." Like Mayweather was just a better boxer. I'm like, no. You go back and you watch Manny Pacquiao's earlier fights in his prime. That it'd be a closer fight than what it was five.
Yeah.
When the fight actually happened 5 years ago or 10 years ago.
Was that 10 years
It
ago?
was 10 years ago. It was 2015.
Wow.
Um,
That's
so
wild.
yeah, it's been 10 years since the quote unquote fight of the century. It was the
That's
fight of the century, like financially, is the biggest, it's like one of the biggest. Well, at the time, it was the biggest boxing match, like financially. But yeah, I think, when Jake Paul started to enter the boxing scene, I thought it was just like one of those like celebrity boxers that just do like celebrity boxing matches or whatever, blah blah blah.
yeah.
But he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take this seriously and whatever," and I'm like, "Dude, you're not gonna fucking survive. Like, if you face he was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua, but the deal fell off because of network deals. Because when you fight a person like Anthony Joshua, he has another promoter he works with. Because a lot of the Jake Paul fights now, well, before Netflix, I think he was on the Zone, or he was somewhere else, but he wasn't on like Showtime. He wasn't. Well, HBO Box has been dead for years, but He wasn't on like Showtime. He wasn't on like you know PBC, right? Like they wanted to entertain a Jake Paul fight, so the Zone would carry that fight. They would carry Jake Paul fights. But now Netflix is starting to get into live sports, so I
Wait, so
guess
how does that work if it's on Netflix? So does that mean it's like if you have is there
if
an
you have
extra
if you have a
fee?
Netflix subscription, you can watch the
You
fight.
can watch it. There's no
There's no
extra.
extra charge. No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now,
So
here's my question about this fight. Obviously, this is a real fight.
yeah.
Tank Davis is
I was gonna
legit.
mention that.
Like,
Yeah.
like
So
the
it's
boy can
funny.
knock out people, and like obviously, I guess this also helps Jake Paul to finally, the biggest thing for him is trying to make himself feel legitimate, right? That's because all his fights, it really what he's doing is transcending because he promotes himself, he gets people to watch his fights, is and most importantly, and since he started doing those like celebrity whatever, fights, exhibition matches, yeah, like he definitely, made a name for himself. Now the one thing about this fight against Tank, too bad it's an exhibition because like
Well, it
I
has
mean,
to
I
be an
don't. You
extra.
tell me. Is Javante, like? Is he not holding a belt anymore, or is he done? Is he not in his prime, or
I
like?
think is Javante holding a belt? I don't even know. I think he is holding a belt, but he
What
he had he
wasn't
had
he just
DV.
fighting Ryan Garcia a few years ago? Like,
He had DV charges against him, so he couldn't.
oh,
It was
so
hard for him to get matches or to get fights.
he had to like
So
relinquish
yeah, um, but it has to be an exhibition because the weight difference is too big. It's way too big.
who's heavier.
Jake
He's
Paul is like
heavier.
200 some pounds. His last fight was against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., which is the son
Oh
of Julio
yeah,
Cesar Chavez Sr.
yeah, yeah,
Um
yeah.
so Jake Paul usually fights around like the 200. He's a heavyweight fighter. And Tank Davis
Really,
is yeah.
he's
And
135. Yeah, I see
it's
that.
Tank Davis is 135. He's a champion at 130. He's a oh
That's
god, what's
interesting.
yeah. Yeah. Tank Davis is a lightweight champion at 135. Super lightweight. So it's hard to make it a title fight because it's the weight
The
difference is too
weight
big.
difference is different because they would have to meet in the middle, like
Yeah. But it's hard
either.
it'd be harder for Jake Paul to go down in
Yeah,
weight because it's just that's so significant.
he'd have to
So
like he'd be skinny,
yeah,
and
he'd
he'd
be
probably lose a
skinny.
lot of his power. Um,
Now, if they were to try to do a catch weight, Jake Paul would have to drop down to like 145, and Javante could probably fight at like 140.
okay,
That's probably
so
his.
your thoughts right off the bat? Do you like this fight or
No,
not?
it's fucking stupid. It's so stupid. I
This
any
is
Jake
just
Paul's.
to, but you know that people are going to watch this
No,
fight
people are gonna
because
watch. Am I gonna watch? Probably because I'm stupid enough to watch it. But
yeah,
I watched the fucking the Mike Tyson fight.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's so stupid, dude. Like,
that was
um,
also on Netflix too, wasn't it?
it was
Yeah.
yeah. All Jake Paul's fights now are gonna be on Netflix. The Canelo fight's gonna be on Netflix, but that's a
Oh, is it?
legitimate fight. Yeah.
Uh,
Um, just because Canelo and the Zone, because that's a whole nother story. But basically, Canelo has a problem with Oscar De La Hoya because he used to represent him, and now he doesn't. And there was just some shit between him and Golden Boy, and the Zone carries Golden Boy promote, or they carry Golden Boy Promotions is in the Zone, and Canelo doesn't want to deal with that shit. So it's like he's just holding on Netflix or whatever. Plus, it's just it's all about the money too, right?
money,
So
yeah, yeah.
you can get a bigger audience with Netflix than you would on the Zone. It'd probably be the same, but financially, I think Netflix holds a bigger ground to now the problem is if they can actually hold a steady streak, right? So
Yeah, because
you
that
know
that that stream didn't do too well with
The Jake Paul
the
fight,
the
yeah.
Jake Paul with
Mike
Mike
Tyson.
Tyson.
Yeah,
The
I
only
was
thing,
watching that. It was hard
if
to watch just streaming wise.
if you were watching the fight, you would see like an interview, and then all of a sudden you'll see Mike Tyson's ass. It's
But
like, what
yeah,
the hell are you watching? It's
uh,
porn.
this is not what I signed up for. Um, but yeah, you asked me why boxing's dead. It's because of this. It's because of this transcending thing that's new. But
Because they have no system anymore. There's no
yeah,
contendership.
it's killing the sport. But also, what's killing the sport is politics, and it starts with
Yeah,
Bob. It starts with Bob Arum. Bob Arum is the reason why we don't see Manny Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford. That fight was supposed to happen. That was supposed to be the fight before Floyd Mayweather, because they were going to do it the year before, because they wanted Manny to fight one more fight, but before Mayweather, and
well,
and it was supposed to be against Terrence
I
Crawford, but
didn't
it
know
never
that.
happened.
Bob Arum created boxing
Yeah,
politics, right?
Bob Arum helped. Well, he helped create boxing. You have Don King too, right? Don King
Yeah.
with Muhammad
No,
Ali
I
and
said
Mike Tyson.
he helped create boxing politics,
Oh yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
boxing, but yeah,
After Don King, Bob Arum was the next big promoter, and Top Rank was it's his
Top Rank.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I don't
Manny
hear too
was
much about Top Rank anymore. Is that?
because Bob Arum was just he's like Jerry Jones. He
Mm,
he's this
mm.
9-year-old guy. Well, Jerry does this in his 80s, but Bob, there's like 80-year-old men, thinking that they're still running the sport, but they're not.
Yeah,
And it's really sad because Top Rank was so big, and Manny obviously was a big part of that. He helped carry that promotion for as long as he did.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and then they brought in Terrence Crawford, and he was supposed to be. That's why they wanted to make the fight, or that's why Manny wanted to fight against Crawford. The problem was Bob Arum. He felt like Terrence Crawford wasn't ready for Manny. And so all these rumors started spreading around like Manny was stuck in the fight or Terrence Crawford was stuck in the fight. But it was Bob Arum who really killed the fight because he felt like Terrence Crawford wasn't ready and that Manny would just beat him down. But really, I think it would have been a close fight. And Manny at that time, too, at 2014, he still had a lot of juice in him. Like if you watched his fight against Mario Barrios compared to 2014,
yeah,
that fight against Terrence Crawford and Terrence Crawford was still like he was still young. Yeah, he was still young. He wasn't the Terrence Crawford that like his record was like I think at the time it was like 14-0, 15-0. So I don't think Bob Arum felt like he was ready for a big time fight like with Manny, which I think is
yeah,
bullshit. So and obviously just after so Terrence Crawford left. He left Top Rank, and after that, there's nobody else that kind of filled in those shoes, that filled in the Manny Pacquiao and the Terrence Crawford shoes. That's why you don't hear a lot about Top Rank anymore. The only thing you hear about Top Rank is Alexander Usyk, who was the current undisputed light heavyweight champ, or sorry, heavyweight champion. Um,
don't know who
so
that is.
Oh, dude, you got to search up Alexander Usyk. Like if you really want to get back into boxing, he's one of my favorite fighters to watch. He just beat Tyson Fury again for undisputed heavyweight. Oh no, sorry. He just beat Daniel Dubois, but he also beat Tyson Fury twice.
Mm,
But yeah, it's just there's just so much politics in boxing that it's hard to make fights, and there's no big time fighters anymore. Like Errol Spence is not a big time fighter after his accident in Dallas, or he was supposed to fight Manny, but Manny fought Ugas, which ultimately Ugas won because Manny just I don't know what happened with Manny in that fight, but he was supposed to fight Errol Spence, and then Errol Spence ended up fighting Terrence Crawford anyway. So, because the winner between Manny and Errol Spence was supposed to fight Terrence Crawford, and I felt like Manuel was gonna win that fight anyway against Errol Spence, and he was gonna fight Terrence Crawford, which would have been obviously an interesting match. But yeah, I try to defend the sport. Like I said earlier, I try to defend the sport as much as I can. But it's so hard when you have a guy like Jake Paul who I
He's
don't.
changing it. He's
He's
changing
changing it.
the way, and maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. I don't know. I mean,
And
honestly, at this
I
point, he's the only one that's actually making maybe not good matches, but you can call it what it is. But maybe he's making interesting, intriguing matches where people are like, it might not be a good match, but I'm still gonna watch it, and that's what he
they're
wants, right?
never good matches. The only legitimate boxer is right now is Canelo Alvarez. Right, Canelo Alvarez is like the
Yeah,
Kevin
yeah.
Clark of boxing. If Canelo's not fighting, no one's gonna watch. Right,
So
or if
can he fight Canelo or no?
he can, I mean, they were really close on the deal.
Oh,
They came really, really close. Like,
but
so
here's the thing: it's like, how do you, you know? Let's compare it with UFC. The UFC is all ran with by one organization, right?
right,
So you have your system. You fight, you get a number in line, right? It's
right,
a big contendership,
sure,
and then you fight the champion. In boxing, like you said, it's all politics. It's who's hot. Let's put them together, make it a title fight, and then that's it, right? So you mentioned that there hasn't been a draw of names lately, and the only one really um, that holds a name kind of like Manny Pacquiao or a Mayweather is Canelo Alvarez. And I mean, even for him, it almost seems like he's having a hard time finding opponents. I mean, this
yeah,
next one that he's fighting, Terrence Crawford, right, is,
yeah,
he's a big name too. Um, but that just goes with saying that, yeah, boxing is just not, it's not like how it was in the,
yeah.
80s, 90s. Even when like Muhammad Ali was fighting, it's just, yeah, I think a lot of people are just done with how um brutal it can be with the judges and
Yeah, I was gonna
allowing,
say the judges also
you
play a
know
big part of why boxing is that. I mean,
it's
I could
corrupt,
name. Yeah, I mean, I Mayweather is fucking corrupt. I don't care what anybody. I will die on that hill. Mayweather. What? Listen. So I wasn't always a Mayweather hater. Um, when when Floyd Mayweather was Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather, he was fun to watch. He used to like he obviously is the best defensive fighter. I will, that's not it's not hard to deny. Like even for
Yeah,
myself, like he is the best defensive boxer maybe of all time, maybe of this generation for sure. He is the best defensive fighter I've seen. Like no one has even come close. Maybe Gervonta Davis is probably the closest one, but
the
Floyd
closest, yeah,
Mayweather,
very
yeah, like
similar in style
very
fighting.
similar in style, yeah. But, Floyd Mayweather is the best defensive fighter of this generation, at least. But when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he used to be on the attack. He used to be
Yeah,
defensive, and he wouldn't just throw jabs. He'd be on the attack.
he
He
actually
wouldn't.
uses power.
Yeah, like he used his power. Now, when he became, you know, Money Mayweather, that's what it exactly was. It was Money Mayweather because he was
So
Pretty
are you
Boy.
saying that he changed his character like in WWE?
Of course he did. Yeah. Dude, he used to be dude, I used to enjoy watching Floyd Mayweather fights. I was talking about this with Mitch Moss, with someone I work with at our job. He used to be around boxing a lot, during his younger days. And, we talked about, some of the recent fights recently, obviously the Canelo fights and, Jake Paul or whatever. Um, but I even told him the same thing. I was like, when Floyd Mayweather was Pretty Boy, when
Yeah.
Floyd was Pretty Boy Floyd, he was fun to watch. Like he'd be on the attack. he's your perfect all around boxer. When he
Yeah.
became Money Mayweather, that's when he started picking his fights. That's when he moved to Showtime. That's when all
Well,
this
I mean,
all
it
this.
almost kind of seems like what it doesn't sound too different than what Jake Paul's doing. You know what I mean?
No, but the difference,
In but yeah, the difference is the talent, right?
yeah,
It's
the
between
difference
night and day.
is, yeah, but the difference is, it's not only just the talent, but it's Floyd still sticking within boxing. He's not going
Correct.
outside of boxing.
Correct.
He
Correct.
only
Yeah, I
went
got
outside of
you.
boxing when he retired from from formal competition, from competitive boxing.
Yeah,
Right. His
yeah,
his first outside boxing match was against Conor McGregor. With Jake Paul, he's always done, the celebrity boxing matches, whatever, the Nate Robinsons and the
yeah.
the
I mean,
Tyron
that's
Woodley, Ben
what he's
Askren,
known for, right?
yeah,
So
Mike Tyson, all that, yeah. So, and up until this fight against Gervonta Davis, he's only fought like two legitimate boxers, three actually, if you want to include Tommy Fury, which I don't really count because Tommy Fury didn't, he hasn't had a real professional run. He's only been regarded as an amateur boxer. So Jake Paul's only really had like two legitimate boxing matches. And even against an amateur boxer like Tommy Fury, he lost by split decision. So what is that gonna say against, Javante Davis? And I feel like I don't know how this deal, well, like I said earlier, you were supposed to fight Anthony Joshua, but because of network deals, it just never happened. And I mean, for as much as I've trashed on Jake Paul in this entire segment, I seen Jake Paul was gonna win that fight against Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua just does not have the chin to handle his power. Like Anthony
yeah,
Joshua could get hit by a simple jab and just get knocked out. It's really the downfall of Anthony Joshua is really sad. But you know, you don't go from Anthony Joshua to Javante Davis without some type of reason, and whatever that reason was, I don't know, because that's like a WWE match, right? That's like the Big Show facing against Rey Mysterio.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's exactly what this is, and yeah, I just
At the
there's
end of the day, you're dealing with Netflix, and they need eyeballs. So this to Netflix makes it seem doable where they can get viewership, and I mean, I'm probably gonna watch it regardless, just
But
because this
even
does.
even the Canelo Terrence fight is stupid, and that's a legitimate boxing match because Terrence
Because there's
Crawford.
no one there, no, to for them to fight.
Well,
There's no
yeah,
one.
no, no, for sure, and like I mean, David Benavidez has been wanting to fight Canelo Alvarez for the longest time, but there's just no money in it, and that's what Canelo wants. He wants
He wants
he
money.
wants the money fight. Yeah, he wants the money fights, unless he has to
Canelo's got
defend
to
his.
fight. Canelo's got to fight. Conor McGregor.
No, but I mean, yeah, I mean, unless he has to fight a mandatory fighter, he's not going to fight David Benavidez because he feels like he's going to win anyway. So why fight him, right? At least when Canelo picks his fights, he actually has a reason to not fight. You know what I mean? So at least with Mayweather, when he picks his fights, like he feels he's gonna win, but it's like it's when he chooses his fights, is when he chooses his fighters to fight. And earlier on when he was Money Mayweather, like early on in that phase, like he had some good fights. Like Sugar Shane Mosley was a good fight. Um and there was one other boxing match. But to just wrap this all up, right? It's even that, because even the fight with Canelo and Terrence Crawford is so stupid because Terrence Crawford is a welterweight fighter. He just had a 154 match against a no-namer and he almost lost that fight. So he's going up two weight classes just to fight Canelo Alvarez at 168. Canelo Alvarez is going to knock the fuck out of Terrence Crawford, I guarantee you. Like Terrence Crawford is the faster fighter, but Canelo Alvarez is going to knock him
He's
the
got
fuck out.
power.
He's got power. and once he catches them, that's it.
All right. Well, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see for that fight in September. You said right,
September 13th.
and then the
September
Jake
13th.
Paul and Javante Davis fight is November
November,
15th,
yeah, November 15th.
and they are both on Netflix. Right? You
They're both
said
on Netflix. They are both on Netflix.
so. If
And
you have a Netflix account, you can watch it.
yeah, just hope
So
the
I mean
streaming actually
that's
works.
great. Yeah, as long as the streaming works. I mean, it's not like before where you had to pay 79.95 for pay-per-view.
Hey, I
Got
pay for the Pacquiao fight. The only time I pay for pay-per-view matches is when Pacquiao's on. Anything else, I don't pay for it.
you're a true countryman.
That's right.
Well, I believe this is going to wrap it up with this episode. We got a lot um covered and with NFL, boxing, the state of boxing, and we'll see what happens with those fights, and really
Oh,
looking
don't
forward
worry.
to the.
I'll be back on here to preview this
Oh
Canelo
yeah.
Terrence Crawford fight. So, well, I'll be back. I'll be back. Don't worry. We gonna preview
So
that
we are
stupid
going
fight.
to. He's going to preview that, and we're also maybe next week we'll also preview Week One and the
Yep.
NFL and
NFL's back,
the
baby.
next or the upcoming season as well, and maybe we'll even give our little takes and our predictions of who's going to make it to the Super
We got
Bowl
we
and
gotta
possibly win.
well, once Ryan decides when it happens, we gotta go over our fantasy teams because Ryan just added me to his
Yeah,
family's to his family's
it
fantasy
gets
football
lit up
league.
in there, man. We talk shit. No, I'm joking. It's just something. The fantasy league is actually an honor of my late father-in-law. So we call it the Herman um, fa- Fantasy Football League, and we just play in honor of him. So, but it's
Shout
yeah,
out.
fantasy football is great, man. I love
I haven't done fantasy in years,
I
so we'll
love
see
it.
what happens.
It's a love hate relationship. One week you're fired up, and then the next week you're like, "What the fuck? Do something!" It's fun. So, but yeah, appreciate you joining the league, and
Ah,
I'll
that's an
get you
honor.
that.
Now that I know
I'll,
that, that's an honor
I'll
to
get
join.
you the date when we're gonna do the draft and all that. But anyways, we are going to end it with that. This is Across All Arenas. We out. See you guys next time.
Deuces.